Back on the Lobo basketball postgame show live from Viejas Arena in San Diego, where New Mexico has defeated the Aztecs 68-62, the first Lobo win in Viejas in 4 years. And head coach Craig Neal's first win in Viejas as the head coach for New Mexico Lobo basketball. It's time for our Delta Demo coach's comments.
Had some tough losses too.
Oh,
I
my gosh.
Got one.
Yes, sir. What a big win. Congratulations.
Had two of them really bad ones. But, yeah, really happy for the kids. So, I mean, they were really strong-willed, had a lot of energy, really hungry. You know, it's just like I told them in the last time out. Are we going to learn from our experiences? Are we going to mature? Are we going to get stops? And then are we going to make the right plays? And they did it. And it's all on them, and they did a great job. And, you know, we got some play from some really good guys, but they stayed the course when we got down. The chipped away and went on a 14-4 run. And we didn't take any bad shots, thinking we had some 6-point plays. Took some good plays. Don't know how many. I don't think we made any bad offensive plays down the end. Maybe one, but that's part of it. But really executed really well. We got it in what we wanted to do in the first half. We didn't get in the right positions in the first half. And then once we kind of joysticked them and put them in their spots and told them where they needed to be, they did that. And you know, you can't say enough about Tim Williams. It's like he's playing quarterback for you. You know, you put him in the post double and he's making plays. He doesn't get his normal 18, but every play he made down the stretch was crucial. Yeah. And that happens. And then you get great play from Dane Kuiper off the bench, which, you know, I had to take him out of the starting lineup, and that was a very hard conversation. But our relationship is like a son, and most of these guys are like that with me. But I had a tough conversation with him. It was hard for me, but he accepted it, said, let's go. And that's what you need to have a team, and that's what you need. And X was, I mean, what can you say about that kid? He just plays hard. We got some injuries. Jordan Hunter stepped on X's foot, so he's day-to-day. Might have broke his hand, so that's bad news. And X hurt his shoulder. But, you know, I'm just really proud of the guys. And I know you guys got a lot of questions, but I'm just going to say this. Coaches are coaches, and you have to make tough decisions. And you have to do what is best for your program and your standards and what you stand for and what I believe in. And I made some tough decisions. And I'm just thankful that right now, after this win, it shows that it worked. And it doesn't always work, but I got to give the credit to the kids.
Yeah, no, and it was great. it was great effort, and you did make adjustments not only throughout the season, but now in today's game. In the second half, it seemed that Tim Williams, of course, they were shutting him down, but you pulled him away from the rim, and then he was able to get and put it on the floor, and that allowed him to draw fouls and get to the free throw line.
Well, when you get doubled like that, we can put him on the elbow, we can put him on the wing. He's tough to guard. He's really expanded his game. I mean, he missed a tough shot that he's been making now, but he just makes so many plays, and he's the center of attention, just like Elijah is. But I thought Elijah was terrific today. I thought he did everything I asked him to do defensively. He didn't take bad shots. He didn't force it. He led, and that's what I need. And you know, if he continues to do that, he'll be the best player in the league, which I think he is. And I think Tim Williams is right there and could be co-player of the year. But yeah, it's just a really good win after what we went through last year and what we went through my first year as a head coach here. And that's a good team. I know they're without Shrigley, who gives them a different dimension, and I know they're out without Pope, but they're still really, really good veteran group. And it's hard to come in here and win, but I feel really good about it.
Coach Neal, we saw where Jordan came up with the ankle there, and we saw X dive on the floor and then get landed on the shoulder. When did the Abacha Jet injury potentially happen?
When he lost the rebound. When he lost the rebound to start the half, they came down on his hand, and they think he's got a broken middle finger or down past the knuckle. We don't know that yet, but that's just what the doctor thinks, and hopefully, you know, I feel bad for O, but that happens, but I feel terrible for him. But I really liked our bench. I liked the energy of our bench. I liked that nobody, you know, got their dauber down and kept their head down. I thought everybody was involved. I thought everybody was into it. My staff did a great job scouting. We really worked a little bit extra, and we're going to continue to keep working extra, trying to make our team better, and it just worked out today.
Coach, you talked about your bench, but I think there's two things that really with the reasons why you guys were successful with that. That was your bench play, and then also, like you said earlier, guys made plays. Other than Tim Williams and Elijah Brown, you had guys making plays, and that was huge.
We had a third or fourth
Yes.
or fifth guy making plays, either X getting a rebound or a duck in for a layup or Dane Kuiper making a big three. Jalen Harris was terrific at the end, comes up with 9 points, was aggressive, didn't back down. If you can get 4 or 5 guys contributing, then we're a tough team. Now, you know, I've got to figure out how we do the dynamics with the team, but we got to get offensive production by 5 guys on the floor, and you know that, Hunter. It's hard to play sometimes when you're playing 5-on-3, and we got to get more production of certain guys. But I thought the guys on the floor, when we made the 14-4 run, I thought the guys on the floor, they were making plays, and all 5 of them were making plays.
Remember a game where Tim Williams came out on the floor against UNLV and started driving them, and it just transformed the Lobo offense, and he was incredible. And you talked about the chess game, and when you got him in different positions there in the second half, he was unbelievable.
Well, it's I've had 2 of them here. I've been very fortunate. I had Cam Bairstow where I could put all over the floor, and now I've got Tim Williams I can put all over the floor. So it's a luxury. You know, I don't know if he made it, but Lamont Smith was going to try to come. You know, I got to give him a lot of credit because he recruited Tim. And, you know, Tim trusted me, and I told him what he could accomplish here. And, you know, he's first-team All-League, which I told him he could be, and I told him he could be a player that expands his game, and I think he's done that. So I'm proud of him. He's a great kid, but he gives you a luxury of just being able to put him all over the floor.
And it's funny because we always look at Elijah and we always talk about the leadership. But I see Tim as a leader. I mean, he has gotten these guys. They're rallied around him.
He really has rallied around him, but he's been more vocal. To be honest with you, he's been more vocal. Now, I've asked him to be more vocal. I've asked him to do some things. I've asked him to do stuff when I change the lineup. I asked him to do some things that he's uncomfortable with, but in huddles and timeouts, I've asked him to do some stuff, and he's done it. He hasn't done it in the past, but I've asked him my expectations of him, and you know, he's done it. So, you know, I couldn't be happier.
Terrific victory, and the first week of conference play going 2-0, winning at home, and a tight win against Fresno State, and then the resiliency to come back in this building the way you guys did in the second half. Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's good the way we came in. You know, just didn't want to spend a lot of downtime, wanted to come in and take care of business. You know, we're going to go home tonight. We're going to do the same thing we did this week and walk through, and then we're going to go Tuesday and then get ready to play on Wednesday. So I sent a text to the guys right before we came here. And I told them, I said, I'm really impressed with your demeanor. I'm really impressed with your focus. Can't wait for the next step in the journey, and couldn't be doing it with a bunch of guys that I enjoy. I said, let's just go have some fun and take care of business. And I sent that to all the guys before we left, and they were really fired up, and I'm proud of them. Well, at the end of the day, players play. Yeah. You know, and players play, and they played. And I understand it, but I just try to do the best I can. I give everything I got. I love this school. I love my job, but I love these kids. I've loved every team that I've had, but it's just one of those unique experiences. You just feel really, really like it's almost like your dad, and you see one of those. It's just overwhelming how happy you are for those kids.
Well, safe trip home, and you've got this tough double, back-to-back road games, but at least you get 2 nights in your own bed before you have to get out on the road.
And I
to
think
go to
that's been
Utah
good
State.
for our guys. Yeah. I think once you go out and you have a lot of downtime, I think guys get lethargic, guys sit around. I think it's better. I can get them home. They're in a natural environment, and it's better that way. But we're going to get out here tonight. They're all happy.
We talked earlier today about ringing in the new year with a win over the Aztecs.
We talked about it. I was hoping that it would come true, but it's nothing better than that.
Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Coach.
Yeah.
Next visit to Logan, Utah next week. Those are the Delta Dental Coaches' comments brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. You know, almost 400,000 New Mexicans covered by Delta Dental plans. For more info, log on to deltadentalnm.com.